What's up, everybody? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam, and for this video, I have day 3 of the competition for the race to 10K in profit between me and Alex, the OddsJam co-founder. If you haven't followed along over the weekend, I would recommend watching those first 2 videos because I still do have some pending bets, and I explained the competition in greater detail. Essentially, what's happening is myself and the OddsJam co-founder Alex are doing a sports betting competition to see who can get to 10K in profit first. The only rules are that we only have $500 to play with per day. So it won't work as if one person just bets a ton more money and then profits 10K. We only have $500 to play with. How you want to spend those $500 is completely up to me or him. I know for his first day, he just had a massive $500 bet. For me, I like to spread it out among multiple positive expected value bets. And if there's ever a day where one of us are unable to place bets, like if we're not in a legal betting state, then we just won't do the competition that day. So it only is valid on days that we can both use our $500. And if me, personally, if I win, I'll get a raise. I do want to be clear. I am very happy working at OddsJam. They treat me very well. They are very nice to their employees, but who doesn't want more money? I have 2 dogs. One of them is sleeping back there. I would like to treat them well. So hopefully I win. If you could like the video, if you could comment on the video, provide all your good juju my way, that would be incredibly beneficial. Would also appreciate if you could subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. We have a ton of helpful content on the YouTube channel. Obviously, the videos that Alex and I put out are very informational in how to use OddsJam and in general, how to profit betting on sports. We go over a lot of different concepts. We also have strictly betting educational, betting advice, betting tutorial. Any sport that you want to learn how to bet, it's on the OddsJam YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, you turn those notifications on, you'd be doing yourself a huge favor as a sports bettor. But let's get into it. So 2 days into this competition, I placed a total of $1,000 worth of bets, $500 a day, 2 days, $1,000. One of the rules is the bets don't have to, the date doesn't have to settle as far as the bet doesn't have to settle on the day you're placing the bet. So as you can see, this started on April 30th, and I have some May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd. As long as the bets, you have $500 for the day, doesn't matter how you place them. So for me, I've had a pretty good start so far, mostly on the NBA. I've been undefeated in the NBA, and then I'm 0-2 in baseball. So yesterday, I had 7 bets settle. I went 5-2. The first 5 all hit. They were all in the NBA, up about 318 in profit from the NBA. And then I lost 2 big baseball bets, down 200 from there. So my net profit is $118. ROI about a little under 12%. That I would imagine that number will probably go down. 12% is pretty high. Normally I would say, my normal betting hovers around between 7 and 10%. It was at 10% for a while. Then I had some bad weeks. Now it's closer to 8%, but that's still pretty good. And the one thing I want to note, you see these columns here highlighted red. That doesn't mean the bet lost. It just means that the bet is no longer positive in terms of closing line value. So when I placed it, it was a positive expected value bet. Then the odds have changed, and now it doesn't have positive expected value associated with it anymore. Yellow just means that it was a new day. So these bets are all day 1. These bets were all day 2. So day 1 went really well. Day 2, not so much. Hoping for better luck in day 3. And the closing line, you will see it highlighted here on the bet tracker. The CLV is pulled from the OddsJam line, which I'll explain in just a second here. Green means you're getting better odds. Red means you are getting worse odds. And as you can see, one of these bets wasn't for the competition. I just placed it on my own. But 3 of the ones that are remaining no longer have positive closing line value. So since I already placed them on the video, I'm not going to cash them out because that would be cheating. What I'm going to do is just ride it out and hope that the bets, either the odds change or that I get lucky and the bets hit. Obviously, the goal is to maximize opportunities in which you are beating the closing line. And this page I have on the screen here is the OddsJam positive expected value page. If you're not a subscribed member, of OddsJam and you want to follow along with what I'm doing, what I would recommend you do is just sign up for a 7-day free trial. You'll see the link for the free trial in the description. Free trial means it's completely free. So if you just sign up for that, you can follow along with what I'm doing. It'd be much easier to learn how to navigate the site and the different tools that we offer if you're watching someone go through it. So I would definitely recommend signing up for a 7-day free trial. And let's get into it. Let's start placing some bets. So the OddsJam positive expected value page. If you're unfamiliar with how it works, I'll do a brief recap. I did it in the first two. I don't want to do it for every single one for the recurring listeners. But if there are any new listeners, I do want you to understand how positive EV works. So the OddsJam line is pulled from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. We deem the OddsJam line to be the most accurate line or most accurate representation of how the odds should be priced. Anywhere in which we are getting more favorable odds on another sportsbook, that is going to be positive EV. That is going to have positive expected value associated with it. A couple important things to note is that it's only going to be positive EV if it has the VIG removed. The VIG is just the juice that sportsbooks price up the odds themselves. So sportsbooks, they don't charge a transaction fee to place bets. Instead, they just juice up the odds a little bit so they can make their profit by accepting bets from both sides, from zillions of users for even more zillions of money. And the way, if you want to learn how to remove the VIG, it's very easy. You just go to calculators, no VIG, fair odds, and what you do, and there's a bet here that I really like, so I want to place this one before the odds change. I really like it because the market width is only 13 cents. 17 minus 4 equals 13. And minus 105 odds, OddsJam line has it at minus 117. It's the under 8.5 in the Blue Jays-Yankees game on Caesar Sportsbook. So I'm going to place this bet because I don't, like I said, I really like that one. I don't want the odds to change. So I'm going to sign into my Caesars account. And like I said, every bet that we place is going to be placed live. So you can follow along and actually place the bets as we're placing them. So here's the bet, under 8.5. McSlam Load City bet is $100. So locked in, $100. Yankees Blue Jays under 8.5 total runs. So what I need to do now that I placed the bet is just add this A to the spreadsheet, B to the bet tracker, which I'll get into a little bit later. But the play is Yankees BJs. I'll just abbreviate that one a little bit. This was a total. The bet was on Caesars. This is going to be 5-2, $100 bet, minus 105. So and the expected value was 2.26%. So I just drag this down. So the expected value of my bets are now $33. Over time, you'll see your net profit and / loss equal your net expected profit. You'd be amazed at how much those even out over time. So now that it's added to the spreadsheet, I need to add it to my bet tracker. And the bet tracker, I already showed you it. It's a really helpful tool. It's completely free to use. So you just click the plus button. You put in the amount you put on, which was $100 for me. Click save. And now the bet is checked off and it's in my bet tracker, as you see right here. The bet tracker, like I said, is completely free. It's an amazingly helpful tool for any sports bettor. Even if you're not on an OddsJam subscription, you're not a subscribed member, you can still use the bet tracker. You can still use the calculator that I have up here. You can use a ton of stuff. So like I said, even if you're not ready to commit to a free trial, that's totally fine. I would recommend just going to the OddsJam website and just using the bet tracker to track your bets. Once you see if you're profitable or not, and if you're beating the closing line, how often you're beating the closing line or not, you can tweak your strategies a little bit. It's just a really helpful tool for any sports bettor. And it auto grades your pending bets. So I love the fact that I don't need to mark my bets as won or lost. I just wake up and it's all done for me. So it's just really helpful for me. Even outside of this video, I'm placing positive expected value bets. So it's nice that they auto grade for me. So the OddsJam bet tracker is incredibly helpful. So I placed one bet. I have 400 left to play with. So anyways, I placed this one at minus 105. I did want to explain why I liked it so much and how I even knew it was positive EV. So the OddsJam line prices it at minus 117. The other side of it is priced at plus 104. So in order to remove the VIG, you just put in both sides of the line. So it was plus 104, minus 117. Puts the true line of this bet essentially at minus 110. And I got it at minus 105, and it only had 13 cents in market width, which made it a really valuable bet, which is why I liked it so much and wanted to place it. So let me refresh here. Let me see if there are any basketball. There is. I do actually really like this under in the Grizzlies versus Warriors game. 14 cents in market width. So I'm going to lock this in on BetMGM. The total went over yesterday, but Draymond was out. And like Ja went off, which is, I mean, Ja's very good. He can go off any game. Jordan Poole went off, who he's been great, but he's also been a little bit hit or miss in the playoffs. And Jaren Jackson Jr. went off. And that one, I would imagine, is more unlikely than the other ones. He's struggled as a scorer this year, so I'm not surprised, or I will be surprised if he continues to go off. So I'll do my next $100 bet, under 227.5, minus 115. Make sure everything looks good. Perfect. Place bet. And we're good to go. So that's my second bet for today, May 2nd, that I've placed. So now let me just add it to my spreadsheet. So this was Grizz, Warriors, total. Actually, I'm going to put a U here so that way I know what it was. I don't get confused. This was on BetMGM. This is going to be, this game's actually tomorrow, $100 bet, minus 115. This is what, 2.03? Yes, 2.03. Drag this down, makes my expected profit about $2.03. So let me just change the formatting here. Change it for the next couple. I'm very weird when it comes to formatting, so I like to have everything look clear. And so now I have 300 bets left to play with. So now let me just add this one to my bet tracker. Another 100 there. Save. Now it's added. Perfect. So I saw a couple McSlams. I don't want to totally over index baseball because baseball makes me a little nervous. I do like the Yankees money line over the Blue Jays. The Twins minus 1.5 isn't bad. This under I took. So I'm going to take the Yankees money line on WinBet. And then I am going to look at some NBA player props and see if there's any value there. I'm in Virginia. So if I can get this one, it was Yankees money line minus 106. Only 9 or 11 cents, no, 9 cents in market with here, which is really good. That is, and you rarely see something that low. It's unlikely for me to see one in not in the teens. So that's why I liked that one so much. So minus 106, another 100 on this one, place bet, and good to go. So that's my third bet. Now I need to add it to both the spreadsheet and my bet tracker. So this was Yankees. I'm just going to do money line. This was a money line bet. This was on win bet. This is going to be today, $100, minus 106, and the percent was 2.31%. And so now the expected value is going to be $2.31. So now I have $200 left to play with. And that's kind of generally what I like to do, is have 3 mixed slams and then a couple mini slams or a couple player prop bets. So I'm going to do player props next, and I'm going to look at specifically for for NBA player props, because those are the most fun. It's the playoffs. So you just to get to the player props, you click that gear, you just click that button to check off player props, save changes. Now that they're saved, I'll go back to the OddsJam Positive EV page. I click refresh, and here are a bunch of player props. So player props are treated a little bit differently. For game props, it was anything 15 below is a McSlam. Anything between 16 and 25 cents in market with is a mini slam, a $60 bet. For player props, we up the market width to anything 40 cents and below is fair game. But instead of just having a flat rate, I use the calculator to tell me how much to bet. I pretty much follow this one blindly when it comes to player props. The way this calculator works, if you haven't heard of it before, it's called the Kelly criterion method. What it does is it takes your bankroll, which you just enter in your OddsJam settings. It takes the odds in which you're betting it at. It takes the win percentage, and the win percentage is just based on the no vig odds of the OddsJam perfect line. So you see this percentage here. This is pulled from the OddsJam perfect line with the vig removed. So it takes all of that information and it spits out an actual amount to wager based on that, which is really nice because player props can be a little bit higher variance, a little bit more hit or miss. So I try to not over index everything with player props. You'll have high highs and you'll have low lows. So that's why I like the calculator to kind of balance everything out. Instead of just betting everyone that I see, I do a little bit more research into it. So like this BAM one, 8.53% in positive expected value is very good. It doesn't necessarily mean that's a good bet. What I like to do is look more into it and compare the OddsJam line to all the other lines. So let's open it up and get into it. And here we see where every market prices Bam Adebayo to go under 18.5 points. This sports page is completely free to use where you see all the odds on one page. So you just need to go to oddsjam.com, sport, NBA, click the game. All these markets is free to use. So yeah, another just nice free feature. If you don't want to aren't ready for a 7-day free trial, you could just use that. And we see that, so DraftKings gives us the best odds at plus 100. The OddsJam perfect line is minus 139. Every other book prices this closer to DraftKings than OddsJam, and it looks like BetRivers and PointsBet actually price his total at 19.5. Granted, juiced a little bit towards the under, but still a full point higher. So this one is unfortunately not a good bet to take based on where everything is priced. What I look for is examples in which the bet that we would be placing is the outlier, not the OddsJam line. So in this case, the most likely scenario is that the OddsJam line is actually incorrect here if all the other books have it roughly the same, and then the OddsJam line is the outlier. So what I like to look for is examples where, exactly like I said, the outlier is the book that we're betting it on. So an easy way to find that is to just look at the books and look where the best odds are. Unfortunately, this Jimmy Butler one is well outside of market width, but if you can find an example where the other side of the best odds is not the OddsJam line, that's most likely a scenario in which we are finding an example of an outlier book. As of right now, I don't see any here. Let's keep scrolling. So here we go. Jimmy Butler assists over 5.5. Perfect example right here. So let's click into this one and see if it's actually an outlier or not. So the play was Jimmy Butler assists. So let's scroll to it. So the Jimmy Butler over 5.5 assists right off the bat. I like this bet a lot. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. So minus 115 on MGM. OddsJam line has it at minus 146. PointsBet and FanDuel actually have it as worse odds than the OddsJam line, and it looks like BetRivers and FanDuel actually priced this bet at 6.5 as opposed to 5.5. So I'm going to bet this one. This looks like a $40 bet for me. It was on MGM, so I need to log back in to MGM. Let's hope that the odds don't change on me. So it's a $40 bet. I'm just going to round this one up to 50 because it's easier in regards to getting exactly to 500. So this is a $50 bet, not $100. $50 bet. Lock it in. Good to go. Bet has been placed. So now let's just add this to my tracker and my tracker. So this is Butler assists. I guess we'll do assists. This was bet MGM. This is going to be tonight. $50 bet, minus 115. And the expected value percent was 3.73%. So this would be roughly like $1.75, $1.87 in net expected profit. So let me add this to my actual bet tracker, $50. So now I have $150 left to play with. Just refresh here and let's keep searching. So this Danny Green under 9.5 points, I'm actually going to take blindly. Looks like this is a $70 bet. I'll just round this one up to 75. Then I'll have 75 left. The reason why I am betting this one blindly is because one of my bets was Danny Green to go over. That one ended up not beating the closing line. I got it on FanDuel at minus 106. That is red. So now I can at least hedge my bets a little bit. And no matter what happens, if Danny Green does go under, then I'll profit. And if he goes over, then that'll mitigate my losses a little bit. And at least I'll have a green bet. So let me go on DraftKings, lock in Danny Green for under 9.5 points, $75. Should be plus 100 odds. It is. So let me log in. And here I have Danny Green to go under 9.5 points, plus 100 odds. Perfect. $75 bet. Let me place it. Good to go. Bet has been placed. So now let me add it here. So this was Danny Green. I'm going to take, this is going to be his under points. This was DraftKings. This was, again, today, $75 bet, plus 100. The easy EV percent was like, 7.02. So my expected profit here is going to be $5.27. Of course, they cancel each other out, but I liked the fact that I can get out of a red bet, make it green, and if that hits, then I'll profit. So let me add this to my bet tracker. $75. So now I have 75 left to play with. So let me refresh. Let's see what we have here. So the Celtics Bucks over 212. I don't hate that game. It just went under the first one by a pretty decent amount. So now I think the total has been priced a little bit too low. So this one only has 16 cents in market width, but it's right within range. So I'm going to keep this one in the back burner over 212, minus 110 odds on FanDuel. Let me see if there are any other good bets that I like. This one, strikeouts, Chris Paddock under 4.5. This looks like a $50, $60 bet, so I could round that one up. So what I'm going to end up settling on is this Pablo Lopez to go over 5.5 strikeouts. I believe he's gone over this total 3 of the 4 starts. The Miami Marlins pitcher going against Diamondbacks team, which pretty bad offense, ripe for being struck out. So I'm going to go ahead and bet this one on DraftKings. So I'm going to go to MLB, Diamondbacks versus Marlins, pitcher props, strikeouts, and I have $75 left to play with. So $75 on this bad boy. Place bet, and I'm good to go. So that's my last bet that I'll go ahead and place here. Pablo Lopez under. This was K's. This was, again, DraftKings 5-2, $75 plus 100 odds. This was, 7.51%. And this will be roughly like, I don't know, $5 in expected profit. Yeah, roughly the same as the other one. And that's all I got. So 1,500 in pending bets. That is 6, I believe, I placed today. It starts with the Yankees Blue Jays. So let me just add this one to my bet tracker. $75. This was on DraftKings. Lets me type in, but I guess it's glitching. Save. And good to go. So added here. Of course, that Danny Green one ended up going a ton up there. But anyways, those are all my bets for today. So, of course, goal here, race to 10K in profit, beat Alex. So if you could like the video, if you could comment on the video, give me all the good juju that you have, it would be much appreciated. Also would appreciate if you could subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Like I said at the beginning, we got a ton of helpful stuff for you on the channel. Any type of betting education stuff you need is going to be on there. And of course, lastly, go to the OddsJam website, sign up for the 7-day free trial, play around with the stuff that you saw me using. If you don't want to use that, I would at least recommend using the bet tracker, going to the actual sports odds page, placing bets through there, just finding discrepancies. And that's all I got for you. So all the links that you'll need are going to be in the description of the video. So check those out. And like I said, that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.